Hey, good Tuesday morning, everyone. Thanks so much for being here in the Right Now studios. Eric Connert filling in for Chris Gros here. Jack Hall along with me as well. I've got some great guests here today. Lots of great topics. We're going to try to find more big brothers out there. We're going to have big brothers, big sisters of San Diego County in here, launching a new campaign called Men Who Show Up. So looking forward to diving into more of that. The tremendous impact, Jack, that this program has on our youth, our economy, and our community. It really is going to be kind of a fun deep dive.
Yeah, we're doing a week-long campaign. For some of you who have watched the morning show, specifically yesterday, you already have done one interview. You're ready for another one today?
Big brother and a little brother who were buddies for 21 years now. And kind of helped, launch this, and what was a great example of this partnership, how important a big brother can be to a little, and how those friendships can last decades.
Absolutely incredible. We love to see it.
All right, so let's dive into that. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, San Diego County. They're launching this new campaign. It's called Men Who Show Up. I love the name of that. It's all in an effort to get more people to take the first steps into mentorship. Joined now by Director, Chief Service Officer of California, and candidate for Lieutenant Governor Josh Friday, and Marine veteran and Big Brother Anthony Gomez. Guys, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Hey, Josh, you can hear us okay. Let's start off with you. Tell us a little bit about how important this program is, and we're looking for some more bigs out there, right?
We are looking for more bigs, and we're looking for more bigs because we have a crisis on our hands, which is why the governor created or signed an executive order to really focus on a crisis we're having with young men in our society, where men are now 4 times more likely to commit suicide and less likely to be unemployed, and or more likely to be unemployed, less likely to go to college. And so we're looking for mentors to help us really address head on this crisis that we're seeing in our communities.
Yeah, you talked about the crisis. It is urgent. This California Men's Service Challenge. This is going to be a challenge. We don't want to see the suicide rates where they're at. Can you touch on how important this challenge is, and then we'll bring Anthony into the conversation here?
Yeah, the challenge is really important because what we're seeing, and we think what's driving a lot of this data that's very alarming, is that there's a real lack of connection with men throughout our society, and there's a lack of purpose and meaning, and men are seeking that. And so what we found is that service, when you serve, whether it's in the military or the National Guard or as a coach or as a mentor or as a big brother, it creates a real sense of purpose and meaning, and also creates a connection with the next generation. And our next generation of young boys coming up are lacking mentors. They're lacking coaches. They're lacking men in their lives. So we have a chance to actually solve this challenge from both sides by calling on men to step up and serve in a real way.
When you have a young person that comes up to you several years later that you haven't seen, and they tell you the impact you had on their life, and that they're either still playing, or you built their confidence, or you had a positive impact in their new sport, that feeling that you touched someone and allowed their spirit to fly. I mean, there's just no better feeling in the world, and that's not even on the same level as what a big brother, that impact that can have. But it's a reminder that as we go through adult life and as we get older, having that interaction with our next generation is so important and can be your lasting legacy. People that are kind of moved by this conversation, who are kind of jazzed up right now, that say, you know what, I have something I can offer. What can they do right now, Josh? And then we'll bring Anthony back into the mix.
Well, right now they could join the Men's Service Challenge. And the reason I think the Men's Service Challenge is so important is because every single one of us has that coach that you just described. For me, it was Mr. Rogers, my baseball coach, who made a difference and made you believe in yourself and made you believe that you mattered. And the reality that we're having right now, the challenge we're facing is we don't have enough big brothers throughout California and throughout San Diego. We don't have enough youth coaches. We don't have enough mentors for young men. That's why we created this challenge. So what people can do right now is they can sign up to be a hero in their community, like Anthony is, by going to sdbigs.org/show up. They can find a local organization. They can find local big brothers, big sisters, or they can find a Little League or a soccer community to join and become a coach. There's a million things to do today.
Lots of great ways to do that. Anthony, we talked a lot about the impact you had on the little brother and everything, but talk about how this has impacted you. I mean, this can have a lasting impact on the big, right? And kind of frame your life and your path and your goals, your objectives, and the way you view our next generation too, right?
Wow. So, former Marine, but once Marine, always a Marine.
Right.
And but with that comes just this. We have a hard shell, and I have been told that I can be austere at times, which is why I try to make it a point to smile.
Yeah.
Because I have what's called resting Marine face, and I wanted to be more inviting, and Jonathan has softened me up.
Okay, good.
You know, but it's genuine too. I don't want to, give off the false impression that it's forced. But a lot of what he's taught me is that I don't have to be this serious, austere, military member.
Yeah.
And I could just go back to being me and just kind of before I joined the military and have fun and be goofy. And I love that. I love that I'm able to just relax. I'm not on duty right now. I don't have to, I'm not standing post. But it's changed my life. Like I said, I started by saying I don't have any biological, children of my own, but this is as close as I've been, and it's been extremely rewarding and fulfilling for me in that aspect, and I will die a happy man.
Has it ever occurred to you that you're now able to connect with this younger generation, not even just your little, other kids that age? Has it helped you relate to them better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, just understanding that the phone is attached to them, and just that it's always competing. But no, just through our interactions, I am appreciative of the fact that my little is not like that. So I think he's kind of the exception to the rule. Okay. But I could see where it can help. Just pop culture, it helps me understand. Hey, something to talk about, right? Can't always be golf with us.
Right.
So just understanding just kind of the pop culture.
Well, that's all part of the connection with that generation.
Absolutely.
It really is. What would you say to other veterans, other service members out there considering becoming mentors, if they're hearing this or they've been thinking about it for a bit?
I would say stop with the excuses.
Yeah.
I just think not only military members, but just men in general. Enough with the excuses to yourself. I was one of those individuals. I thought about it, and then I had a million excuses on why not to. And then I just had a wake-up call. I was like, enough. Like, just do it, and I'm glad I did that, because had I not, I would have missed an opportunity. Jonathan would have missed that opportunity, and it would have been really sad. And so I just, you can think of a million things. I'm too busy. I have 2 jobs right now.
Yeah,
I have my family life at home, and I have Jonathan. Yeah. You can always find time when you get rid of the excuses.
I love that. Josh, that's kind of the call right there, the call to action, if you will.
It is, and continue the mission for veterans. I'm not a Marine like Anthony. I'm a Navy vet, but this is an incredible way to continue the mission. And for anyone looking for a mission and looking for purpose and looking for connection, stepping up to serve and being a big brother or a coach or mentor is just a phenomenal way to give back to your community, and we desperately need you.
Josh, Anthony, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. We're taking a quick break, but our conversation isn't over. We have more Big Brothers coverage with a San Diego educator and a local business leader on the challenges men are facing today. It's all coming up. Keep it here. Welcome back to the Right Now Studios, everyone. We are continuing our conversation, Jack, on Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Wow, that was a powerful
yes, it was.
Last segment we had, realizing the impact that not only the bigs have on the littles, but vice versa, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the points that I think was made that was super influential and really powerful is the idea of it's just about making time.
Absolutely.
It seems like such a gargantuan task, and we're going to learn more about the benefits, and we're going to learn more about all of this stuff here in just a few seconds here. But it really is. It is simple as that. All of these tasks and all of these, the challenges that everyone faces, the fact that there are resources available, and just putting a little bit of time. That seems like a lot when you're about to do it, but the rewards that you get out of it, it's just so clear how massive they are.
I also think we maybe take for granted people who do show up in our lives and who are willing to listen. For a lot of people, there are don't show up, are not part of their lives, and they don't feel like anyone's listening. So if you can be that resource for someone, you can impact a life, but maybe even save a life.
A little goes a long way.
It really does. So we are continuing our conversation. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of San Diego County. It's launching this new campaign. It's called Men Who Show Up. We were just talking about how important showing up is, right? It's all in an effort to get more people to take the first step into mentorship. And right now we're joined by San Diego-based educator Macedonio Ortega and TCW Global CEO founder Samer Cooley. Guys, thanks so much for coming in here. Really appreciate your time. Samer, let's talk a little bit about your background, how you got involved in this, and this push for more men who will show up, and then also a look at our youth today and how important this is for them.
Well, I'm really excited about this initiative that's going on right now. When I was a younger kid, I was actually a little way back in the day.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I was at an event and we were talking and I was like, wait, I was a little. I didn't even realize I was. So I think realizing the impact that happened way back then on me and now today being an organization that really cares about philanthropy and giving back and encouraging volunteerism has really changed the DNA of who I am as a CEO now.
That's incredible. So tell us about your organization. And then I think you hinted at it, but maybe the relationship you had being a little may have in some ways kind of brought you down in this unique path.
Yeah, I originally I'm from Syria, so we moved here when I was about 5 years old. And being an immigrant, you just have like a different perspective on life a little bit.
Sure.
Everything's a little bit different. And so I was very fortunate to have a lot of people really walk me through life.
Yeah.
A lot of bigs that just cultured who I am, helped me understand what American culture was like, philanthropy, giving, going down on mission trips to Mexico. So all those things really changed my heart to be a more benevolent person. And so now as a CEO, we do volunteerism. All of our employees get 16 hours a year to volunteer. We do charitable match dollar for dollar. And that's for our internal workers, also our contingent workers around the globe. So it's really impacted our DNA.
Wow. Well, that's special that you realize you want people to give back.
Absolutely.
And you create a little time for them to do that. I like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's awesome. Let's talk to Macedonio. Thanks for coming in here, Macedonio. Tell us a little bit about your background, the impact of Big Brothers, Big Sisters, what you think about this big push to get our younger generation involved, and the call that we have, the call of duty, I'm just going to call it, for our men to get out there and to help this younger generation.
Well, I remember this happening. Trying to start a movement. Obama started Obama's Keepers. Something similar. I might have the wrong language, but we've been striving to do something like this and pick up this momentum, and it's really important. And I think earlier I was listening to somebody talk, and you don't realize the impact that you have. I've worked for San Diego School District for over 25 years, implementing a rites of passage program through my nonprofit as well, Iskali. And sometimes there's young men that aren't even in the program, but they'll come in during lunch. And then later on, at the end of the year, they'll tell you, hey, you're the biggest impact I've had in school.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? You just came in during lunch every now and then. But my point is that you don't even realize the impact you're having with even young men that are outside of your quote unquote circle, right? But your presence, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you relate to others. At a school site, I'm just talking specifically at a school site, that can have a tremendous impact.
Yeah, you've had a big impact on the community, Macedonio, and we appreciate everything you've done for our education system. Since you have had that contact with our younger population, what are some of the challenges you're seeing in young men? What do you think they're facing today, especially young men of color?
So that's the specific audience that I work with, right? The young men of color. And I think what's real difficult for them is the climate, right? Whatever's happening outside of the school, how it impacts them. We've been really pushing for something called restorative, being restorative with them in schools. To make a super long story short, it's just, why are we going to suspend two young men that get in a fight instead of sitting down and talking with them and having them work it out? You're talking about changing a young person, especially young men of color's trajectory, right, into the pipeline of prison, something that we call the pipeline of prison. We've been able to really help young men understand their own trauma, why they were fighting, having them talk to another young person and resolve the conflict, and instead of escalating, it becomes something different, right? And unfortunately for young men of color, this is really big because the majority of men in prison are of color, right? So we keep that. We're very conscious of that when we're working with them.
Yeah, helping our youth to understand conflict, how to deal with it,
and turning it into an opportunity for construction.
Exactly.
That can literally alter the change of the course of your life. That kind of change.
Yeah, and on that note, we're talking about the challenges. So when it comes to success, what in your experience, what does success look like in these instances?
Well, that's a specific instance like that is when you sit down and you talk with somebody and you realize that you're fighting over something that was never there, and you shake hands. I would always take pictures. I would send them to different principals, and it's like, oh, over 25 million served, and the two young men are shaking hands or they're hugging. That's success. When two young men who got in a fight shook hands, they weren't suspended. Later on, they hang out and they're friends. So that's what success to me is. Instead of the other way, right? We all know what happens when a young man gets suspended. They go back and hang out in the street, or their parents aren't even home. So why are we suspending them? We're just sending them out to continue perpetuating the trauma or the pain they already have in their life.
Yeah, making a tough situation potentially even worse,
yes,
right?
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit with Samar about your company, TCW Global, provider of contingent workforce administration. So you're close with the workforce and the readiness of these young men in entering the workforce. What are some of those challenges that you're seeing here, and how are you helping them get over that?
Well, one of the things that I really encourage other CEOs to do and us internally is just reframe the way we look at the workforce.
Okay.
Sometimes a particular generation will get like a bad label for being a particular way.
Sure.
And I think if we take time to get to know them and create belonging and connection, which we were talking earlier, we can get to know what their needs are and how to help them align to join the workforce. We have an amazing internship program that we have internally. We probably have about 5 or 6 interns right now.
Okay.
And so we don't just have them do work. We want to mentor them. We want to be like, here's what life is like. Here's what work is like. Here's what all these skills are that you need to be able to navigate conflict, understand people, build empathy. And a lot of that happens within our Vibes program, and it's our formal volunteerism program. Nice. So when you go out there and you're serving others, you're like, oh, I make connection, I make belonging. When some of the men in our program are participating in Big Brothers, Big Sisters, they're like, oh, somebody needs me, my voice matters. And those small things are all transformative. And I think that's the thing that I love the most about this new workforce that we have coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that may seem small, but has a pretty big impact.
Yes,
on these
absolutely.
Kids. When you look at some of these stats, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, 20% more likely to enroll in college and earning 15% more in their lifetime. That stat says it all.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it's easy to hear anecdotal evidence, and
right.
and as important as that is, it's truly important because the stories that we hear are so powerful. To see it quantified as well, to get another realm of evidence to show how successful this could be is incredible.
Yeah. So what responsibility do business leaders, I mean, you talked a little bit about your involvement. What can our businesses be doing out here? Small businesses, even the big businesses here in San Diego, to help our younger people succeed, to help our young men on the right path? So
you said it at the beginning, time. So that's the biggest one. But what I would encourage every single CEO to do is not only make time to think about this, and it's not rocket science. You literally can send an email to your staff being like, oh, hey, I'm going to give you 16 hours a year to go volunteer with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Go to their website. You'll see all the different organizations you can connect with. It's that simple. The hard part is, as a leader, you might have to do it yourself.
Sure.
Because your employees will sniff the hypocrisy out.
Yeah.
So you want to go out there and do it. And honestly, it's probably going to be the biggest blessing to your life.
Right.
You're going to be so transformed. Right now, our organization has 96% employee retention every year because of this culture that we built. Everybody's happier. Mental health is better. Our volunteerism is through the roof. Charitable giving is through the roof as well. You're going to see these tangible results, honestly, within months of doing it. Just a small program like this. Don't overthink it. Just go out there and do it.
Macedonia, you've been able to see this success work here, some success stories, strong mentors and support systems as well. That's got to brighten your spirit and make your heart feel good when you see these success stories that are happening out there. We just need more of them, right?
We need more of them, and I honestly feel that a lot of people don't realize the power that they have, even if it's just 16 hours.
Yeah.
You can literally transform somebody's life in those 16 hours of volunteer time. Just maybe think about, what can I do just by talking to somebody for an hour, right? And the impact that it has.
Yeah.
There is a study, one of the things that we do ask our students is, when I first start at a school site or in a community center, the first question I say, is there one caring adult that you can go talk to? Yeah. And majority of the time, it's no, and
got to be available. It's like showing up, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So why are the majority of our students saying that there is not one caring and loving adult in their life?
We need more. That's just why we're doing this segment.
Yes, exactly.
So, Macedonio Sammer, thanks so much for coming in, guys. We got to be available for our youth, open up, and show up, right? Thanks for coming in, guys.